Welcome in to Wildcat Sports Talk. Let's join Adam Webb and Tim Brandstetter now.
Welcome into Wildcat Sports Talk. My name is Adam.
And my name is Tim.
And we are presented by the Kentucky Daily. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to the show. Initially when we first kicked off the show, what we were talking about what we were going to talk about tonight, we were like, there's not a whole lot to talk about. It's just that time of year where you kind of start to get the falling off. Shaedon Sharpe projected to go number 4 in the NBA draft. It's interesting to me how he can go 4 in the draft, right? And a guy that goes 4 pretty much is going to play, right? I mean, you can expect that.
Oh, yeah.
Man, funny thing about it, man, 5 months ago, he just wasn't ready for that big stage. It's amazing how much you can grow in 5 months.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. I mean, it's frustrating. Obviously,
it's amazing. And and the thing is I do feel like I'm kind of beating a dead horse when I talk about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, the frustrating part to me is we're going to get to Jimbo here in a minute. That's what everybody's talking about. I mean, that's what everybody's talking about.
We're loaded up, ready to go.
We're loaded up, ready to go on that. But the thing about it is, it frustrates me to no end to think about he should have played. I mean, I'm just sorry, he just should have. But I digress. It happened. It is what it is. Go get paid, buddy. And thanks for your time. So. What you got, Tim? You got anything fun this morning?
No, man. This afternoon.
Whatever day it is. I don't know what it is. Whatever.
Well, it's Saturday morning.
It is Saturday morning. If you're listening on 106.3, the big one in Pineville, Kentucky. And also, I want to point out as well something fun. I'm going to be playing 4 o'clock Friday the 27th at the Mountain Laurel Festival.
A little music.
Playing a little music. So.
Now, the Mountain Laurel Festival is in Pineville.
Joe says, love the shirt, Adam. Also miss you, Tim.
Hey, miss you too.
Good thing Nick Saban didn't throw shade at Vince Marrow. So, you know what? Everybody wants to hear about that.
Yeah,
we're probably going to have to get right into that. So, here's what happened. If you guys don't know, and to be fair, I thought a lot of people knew, but Tim didn't know until we started earlier talking about it. But so Nick Saban sort of threw some shade and said that basically that Texas A&M paid for all of their players. Which here's the thing: Nick Saban is really good at what he does. He is. That's why he is where he is, and that's why he's gotten so much success at Alabama. But that does sound a little crybaby-ish.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
I mean, it's just, it's crybaby-ish.
We're number 2 in recruiting, and the number 1 team, they paid everybody.
Yeah.
Why? But Jimbo Fisher definitely clapped back at him, didn't he?
And Chris, one of our guys, he keeps up with all things UK sports, and I love to hear that. The UK men's tennis defeated number 1 TCU 4-3 to advance to their first ever Final Four.
Nice.
And we'll play the winner of Michigan and Ohio State. So congratulations to
Cats.
the Cats tennis team. So,
have you ever played tennis, Adam?
Yes.
I like tennis. Like
I have.
I like it a lot.
I have, but no, I'll tell you, I'm terrible at it.
Me too.
Problem is, I'm gonna tell you, for folks that have never played, it is one of the most physically enduring sports I've ever played in my life.
Yes.
You think it's not that hard and it looks a whole lot easier than what it is? No. Because if you're running and you're
cutting back and forth
you're
really
hitting
fast.
You're hitting the thingy.
And I'll tell you the thingy. And I'll tell you something else. It's always hot.
Yeah, it's always hot.
Every time I went and played tennis, I'm just pouring the sweat.
So,
but it's a lot of fun though.
Nick Saban's salty. Everybody's talking about that. So let's go over. And we're going to I'm going to go ahead and play for you guys the comments on the
what Nick Saban said.
What Nick Saban said. So, or actually not what Nick Saban said, what Jimbo said in response to all of that.
I'd like to respond to some comments made last night in Alabama.
Yes, I would.
First of all, I'll say it's a shame that we have to do this. It's really despicable. It's despicable that somebody can say things about somebody and an organization. More importantly, 17-year-old kids. You're taking shots at 17-year-old kids and their families. And they broke state laws. They're all money. We bought every player on this group. We never bought anybody. No rules were broken. Nothing was done wrong. It was all and the way we do things, the ethics in which we do things. And these families, it's despicable that a reputable head coach could come out and say this when he doesn't get his way or things don't go his way. The narcissist in him doesn't allow those things to happen, and it's ridiculous. But when he's not on top, and the parity in college football he's been talking about, go talk to coaches who coach for him. You'll find out all the parity. Go dig into wherever he's been. You can find out anything. And it's a shame that you got to sit here and defend 17-year-old kids and families and Texas A&M because we do things right. We're always going to do things right, but we're always going to be here. We're doing a heck of a job. These coaches have done a great job. Our players have done a great job. The whole organization of recruiting people. It's despicable that we got to sit here at this level of ball and say these things to defend the people of this organization, the kids, 17-year-old kids, and their families. It's amazing. Some people think they're God. Go dig into how God did his deal. You may find out about a guy that a lot of things you don't want to know. We built him up to be the czar of football. Go dig into his past or anybody that's ever coached with him. You can find out anything you want to find out, what he does and how he does it. And it's despicable. It really is. And it's a shame we have to sit up here and have this conversation about things we do. And it's personal to us? Yes, it is. It's personal to A&M. It's personal to our players. It's personal to our coaches and everybody involved. And I know the guy. Know him really well. It's amazing that we're allowed to do those things. It's really despicable. And I hate it. For our players who are coming here, who did things the right way, have done things the right way, and will continue to do things the right way, I apologize to you that people insult you publicly the way they're doing it. And our fans, I apologize to you guys for people saying those things about Texas A&M. But promise you this, there are no violations. There are nothing wrong. It's the second time we've had to do this with grown men who don't get their way and want to pout, throw a fit, and act up. Just go ask all the people who work for him. You'll know exactly what he's about. I always said this. My dad always told me this. When people show you who they are, believe them. He's showing you who he is.
Questions? To the left, Olin.
A couple of things, Jimbo. First of all, have you had any contact with Nick since?
No. Oh, he's called.
You just didn't take the call?
Not going to. We're done.
And
he shows you who he is.
And then I just wanted to.
He's the greatest ever, huh?
I love that. I love that. I have to.
And then I
chime
just
in.
wanted
You got all the advantages?
It's easy. It's easy.
And I just wanted to just put it point blank. So no players in you're saying that no players in
There's no laws of anything we ever
or,
promised, done, anything that goes against the laws of the state of Texas, and it's insulting to say a 17-year-old and his family broke laws. No.
Down front, Brent.
You know, y'all have both spoken so highly of each other in the past in terms of what y'all have done in your previous relationship. So how disappointing was it to hear that from him, you know, in terms of, you know, a mentor type to you?
It's disappointing. No, it wasn't. No, listen, you coach with people like Bobby Bowden and learn how to do things. You coach with other people and learn how not to do things. There's a reason people don't go, I went back and worked for him. With opportunities.
Coach back behind
Don't
the
be
lights.
associated with it.
Coaches, is this an area where you would want to see the league office and the SEC, the commissioner's office get involved if coaches are putting out specific accusations of
That's
violation?
their job. That's fine. I'm sure they will. They'll reprimand or say something, and we'll move on. This is about our players.
So yeah,
Texas A&M, and the people who work for and the coaches here. That's what this is about. Make a mistake.
it's funny, Tim. It's crazy because it's what I mean. Like, wow,
Man,
you know,
he
like
really got upset,
I mean, he
didn't
laid
he?
it into him.
I mean, I got one word: despicable.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, and we're gonna let's go ahead and we'll bring in our other co-host here, and we'll bring in Ramon. Ramon, man, What are your thoughts on that, man? Oh, you're muted there.
Yeah, my bad. Can you hear me now?
I
Yeah, we
can.
got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just got wind of a little bit, so I don't know the full details of everything um, just yet, but I've gotten bits and pieces.
So
And
essentially, what happened is that Saban went out and said that A&M bought all their players.
right, because I see they
Um,
got what was that, like five stars or something like that,
yeah. So they
and
went out and
19 4 stars.
bought all their players through NIL, and then Jimbo Fisher said, "Hold up, wait a minute," and then what you just heard was his response.
Right. Um, hey, listen, this is the whole thing about the NIL. It's getting to a point now, like the lines are being blurred just a little bit. Because what if I'm a 5 star recruit and I know, okay, well, so football, I know I'm gonna be there for 3 years.
Right.
I want to be somewhere, one, where we can win, two, where I'm going to enjoy the campus life, and three, where am I close to home? Am I going to be able to play anywhere close to home? So if I'm from Florida and I go to Kentucky, I know we're going to play at the University of Florida, so I know at least I'm going to play home and in front of my family. So with that also being said, is that with this whole NIL stuff, that adds a fourth um, idea or something to pay attention to, because if I'm somewhere and I know in advance, if I go to this school, this NIL is waiting for me. That school doesn't seem too bad. Like, I think I could deal with it. I think
Right?
I could deal with that.
Yeah,
I
money
think I
makes
could
everything
do that.
easier. Yeah.
Right. I could deal with that. Like, I like the school. It might not be number one. It might be number two. But that NIL makes number two not seem so bad. And I'm not saying that that's what's going on with this situation. But, I mean, it's not just sports. It's in everyday life. If
Right.
you have two job opportunities and one is paying more, but if the money was the same, you would go the opposite direction, you're not technically wrong for taking more money.
Well, what's crazy about it right now is we're seeing coaches go at it like this for the first time maybe in history.
Yeah.
That stuff doesn't just happen. Like, it happened behind the scenes. Like, we all know that Coach Cal and Bruce Pearl had a thing for a while, had a beef. We also
Right.
know that Coach Cal and Rick Pitino had a beef. But you don't know that. You know what I mean?
I mean, you got to be around to know that.
Right. So my point is, now things are coming to light, and this is going to be interesting because, I mean, he took some pretty hard shots at Saban.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that the game has changed so much now. NIL has changed everything. I mean, people that maybe wasn't getting the recruits that other teams were, maybe they can get them now because they've got such good sponsors or backers. They've got companies that'll jump on board and throw some advertising dollars at them. It's kind of maybe, I don't know if I'd say even the playing field, but it's definitely changed the playing field.
And Saban has not complained, but talked about parity for a long time now. But more so now because of this NIL stuff. And, he can say all day long that, A&M paid their players. Well, understand something. And everyone said it. The state of Texas has a lot of money.
That they do.
And a place like A&M, I mean, I don't anticipate that College Station is one of the most hot towns in the world. But
it is Texas.
It's Texas, and Texas has a lot of money. And so, yes, kids will probably make lots of money going to A&M or a Texas or any of the other schools that are down there. And for some reason, Saban fails to understand that. I mean, and the other thing is too, I don't understand why Saban's complaining. Yeah, they got the number 1 class. He got the number 2 class. All right. Well, Saban, go out and outperform him.
Yeah, well, maybe he's upset over getting beat by him.
And here's the thing. Saban sort of complained and cried. And the one thing that I'll give Coach Cal a lot of credit on is he hasn't done that. And he could have done that the last 5 years by saying, well, I mean, Duke's paying their players. Duke's paying their players to go there instead of here.
Well, I mean,
because, Cal's really, in terms of, I mean, he's lost his rear end in recruiting.
Let's just be honest, though, man. Listen,
the last 5 years.
Let's just be honest. If anybody thinks that there's never been a player go to Alabama and get any kind of money or backing or NIL before NIL,
even 20 years ago,
they're crazy.
Yeah,
because it's happened.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, it did.
This dynamic, man, is so crazy.
Well, and Ramon, I remember when this whole thing came to fruition and you realized that the NIL thing was going to be a thing, and you came on this show and you were like, I don't know if this is going to be good.
I don't know if it's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of players being able to make money off of their name, image, and likeness. I'm totally for that.
Yeah, they should
I'm totally for that. It's just the dynamic within that I was like, dang, and then how it came up so quick, like it's approved today.
Yeah, and they need to better govern it. Is basically what it boils down to.
Because there's a football player, he transferred schools, and he got an NIL with $1 million real estate company.
Right.
What is he going to do with the real estate company?
Well,
I mean, but advertising, but that's where I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. Like,
I mean, here's the thing. I could have a real estate business and say, hey, come to Web Real Estate right now. I could get Tim to do that. Mm-hmm. Or I can pay Ramon Harris to do it, and he plays for the University of Kentucky.
I get it.
And I can get you out there, spinning a ball on your finger.
Right. Just in the commercial, just saying a couple words, and bam. Now you just sold me a house for free.
Yeah.
Because I signed underneath the NIL.
But I also think I know what you're saying, Ramon. Tell me if I'm right, but I think what you're saying is, and I have the same question, the money that some of these companies are going to spend to get these players, are they really getting that much money out of those players? The return on investment, are they really getting it? Or is some of that money they're spending coming from other places? You know what I mean? Like the realty company, they're like, well, we're going to get a little bit more business, but we're going to throw $1 million at this player. We're not really throwing the whole $1 million at them. Somebody from the university is kind of throwing us a little change here, and then we're going to give them $1 million. You know what I mean?
Well, even with that aspect, if I got $1 million NIL deal, what are my requirements? Do I have to just do one commercial? Do I have to do 3 commercials, and then that's $1 million worth? And it also goes into the aspect of, if I know what NIL deal comes with each school, you're not going to tell me that doesn't sway the decision.
Right.
Like, just being honest. If I know that if I could go to Syracuse University or I can go to North Carolina University, and Syracuse, I know I got a bigger NIL deal at Syracuse. Syracuse doesn't sound so bad.
Right.
Unless it's like, unless I'm already knowing, like, it's not about the NIL for me.
Right.
Because I can tell you, some of these kids are transferring because of the NIL. I've never seen so many transfers.
Well, let's talk about that. We got to go to a break really quick. When we return, we'll talk a little more about that. Because he's absolutely right about that. The transfer portal is out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm normally not one that's like, we should just be players don't need to make money and blah. But I mean, there's some stuff that needs to happen.
Like somebody said, Scott, or somebody said, it's the wild, wild west now.
Yeah, that's right. And Clyde, I hope that you did not say that you'd rather go to North Carolina. Come on now, man. Everybody'd rather go to Kentucky. You know that. I'll be back right after this. You're listening to Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily.
You feel all right when you hear the music ring.
If you've been injured in an accident through no fault of your own, you have options. Don't let insurance companies tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Jeremy Bryant, at 606-261-7381. At Bryant Law, we want you to get the highest possible recovery for your injuries. We can help you with your car wreck, slip and fall, or workers' compensation case. No one should have to withstand the pain, suffering, and inconvenience of a debilitating injury without just compensation. Bryant Law, experience you can trust. Come see Kentucky Creative Bistro and Gallery at South Park Center in Corbin. We are an art gallery and bistro serving a variety of sandwiches, cakes, and coffees. We cater to offices, large groups, and deliver to the local area. If you dine in, you'll experience the vast talent that Kentucky has to offer. Our selections for sale include paintings, photography, and crafts. If you are a Kentucky artist wanting to get your work out to the world, contact us today. We are also now seeking writers for our new endeavor, Kentucky Creative Press.
We, the people, are guaranteed 5 freedoms in the First Amendment.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of religion.
Freedom of the press.
Freedom to peaceably assemble.
Freedom to petition the government.
Only the United States has these 5 freedoms so simply bound together and guaranteed. Think first. Learn more at thinkfirstamendment.org.
Kentucky's new 5-star school rating system provides parents with an easy way to find out how their children's schools are performing. Star ratings are based on test scores for reading, math, social studies, science, and writing. They are also based on students' academic growth over 1 year. For high schools, ratings are also based on how well students are prepared for college and careers after graduation and the number of students who graduate on time. Visit kyschoolreportcard.com for the latest information on schools in your community.
The deadly tornadoes that ripped through western and south central Kentucky destroyed homes, devastated communities, and unfortunately claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice in order to help. Please consider supporting the Team Western Kentucky Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is brought to you by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 110,000 participants here in Kentucky who take part in high school sports.
Like what we do? Share this on your socials and tell everyone.
It's Big Blue Nation's best kept secret, Wildcat Sports Talk.
Welcome back into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. This music, every time we come back with this music,
I feel like you're getting further and further off the screen too.
Yeah, I'm going back. I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Why did you do that the whole time?
Welcome
you keep
into
gravitating towards the
welcome
edges.
into Wildcat Sports Talk. Yeah, I know. You know the folks on radio don't care, Tim.
No, they're like, we can't see it. We don't care.
No, they don't care. Let's go ahead, bring Ramon on. But yeah, because we were talking about the transfer portal as it relates to NIL, and I do believe. I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, it's definitely it's crazy. It's out of control, really.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I'm not against anybody trying to do what's best for them.
Right.
Like, the NIL was an opportunity, take full advantage. I'm not against that at all. It's just it's created such a madness now.
Yeah.
For all
and here's the thing. I don't see how all these players in the transfer portal, there's going to be some that don't go anywhere.
Oh, it happens. It's been happening.
There's been some that's decided to come back to the school they were trying to transfer from
Yeah.
because they realized there's so many names in that transfer portal. Sometimes the grass ain't green. It's fake sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like somebody's in a relationship, but it's kind of rocky, so they go get on a dating site. They're like, I'm putting my name out there.
And then nobody hits.
Nobody hits. I just stay with who I'm with.
Nobody swiped right.
No, I'll just stay where I'm at.
Oh, somebody got experience? Uh-oh. Somebody knew about the swipe right.
Yeah. So, I mean, but that's what it's like. And the thing is did you see Keon Brooks' comments? We were reading those earlier.
Yeah.
How
he does not want to come back to college, but he might.
He doesn't plan on coming back. It's something he doesn't plan to do.
Yeah, I heard that he was keeping his name in the draft.
Yeah, he said
that
he
was keeping his name in
he
the
said he was
draft.
keeping the option open of going to play college or even coming back to Kentucky. He says that the relationship is still good at Kentucky, but he really wants to go pro. And but he said that he might come back to Kentucky, but he also said he didn't want to come back to college. So, I mean, if there's a possibility at all of him getting paid to play ball somewhere, he's gone.
That's right. You can call the Kentucky Daily Hotline at 859-428-8419. We'd love to hear from you and see what you got to say about all this stuff.
I heard that Reeves is wearing number 12 this year.
That's what I've heard.
I did see that. Yep.
So that kind of. I heard that Brooks was keeping his name in the draft, and then after that, I've heard that Reeves is wearing number 12.
Yeah,
so,
I don't think the university's expecting him back.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, usually the player numbers are sacred. You just don't let somebody else get that unless you got complete 100% whether the ability to do so or what's going on moving forward. Because
Ramon, I think this is a really good subject. I'd like for you to elaborate on this a little bit more, the Keon Brooks situation. I think it's odd. That you got a player that's played 3 years already, was a starter, played a lot of minutes, averaged double figures, who don't want to come back. And it's not because he's a first-round pick or he's got millions guaranteed waiting on him. He's just ready to go. Don't you think it's a little bit odd that he's been there 3 years, he played a lot of minutes? I just think it's a little bit odd, that it's not going to take a lot of money to get him. It's just he's just ready to go.
Yes and no. I understand what you're saying. That's kind of odd, but from the player side, being a guy, you look at the roster, right? You already know that time is going to be split between you and Toppin.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You and Toppin are going to split those times. And as a player, you're like, okay, nothing against my teammates, but I feel like I can do X, Y, and Z in this amount of time. I feel like I could do this. And you understand that there's sacrifices and it's about the team. You understand that. But you also know, okay, my last year, it's not like how it was before. Like when I came in, Randolph Morris, Bobby Perry, guys like that, you knew those are the guys that's leading this team, and you're going to have to wait your turn after them.
Right.
You kind of knew that. It's not like that anymore. So looking at the dynamic, no hard feelings. I just don't know. And this is not something I'll have inside sight on, but I just don't know if I want to go through that another year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point, man.
That is a good point.
He'll have to work just as hard to play at Kentucky as he will anywhere next year.
Well, and here's what kind of blows me away. He entered the transfer portal and went into the draft when he should have just tested the waters in the draft and then elected to maybe have the option to come back to Kentucky. And what I don't understand is why we have a starter at Kentucky transferring.
Well, I think it's exactly what Ramon just said.
Yeah.
I don't think he's confident he's going to get a lot of minutes next year.
He would. I mean, he absolutely would. His position is one of those that like is a void.
Well, I don't know, man. I mean, I think everybody started wanting Toppin in the game more and more last year. I know I did.
I mean, yes, and that's a good point. But rotating those two out, I mean, either way, you're going to get playing time.
You're
prove yourself, play among the best.
Well, also though, there's a time to get out while you're on top too, and maybe he's looking at it going, well, if my minutes go down and my average goes down, my potential earnings go down.
That and so let's say, and this is another dynamic from a player standpoint. So, you play 2 20-minute halves, right? So let's say they split that time evenly. You're only playing 10 minutes a half. And then that depends on how that 10 minutes is dispersed. Is that 10 minutes, am I playing 5 minutes? And then I'm sitting, and then I play another 5 minutes, and I know that's it for the half. Like that 20 minutes can be broken down in so many different ways.
Right.
And then you're thinking about it. You're thinking about the rotation. Just being realistic. For Brooks, Cal is going to put Toppin in the game at some point. He is.
Yep.
You know that. So then it's like, okay, I'm fighting for my starting position again, fighting for my minutes. And then you see these new guys coming in and out the door. And you like, hey, man, no offense to anybody, but I feel like I could do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We had several good questions and stuff coming on. People commenting.
Matt Short says Keon Brooks is coming back to Kentucky.
I wouldn't bet on that.
I would not bet on that unless you just know something.
When your number is given up, that means there was a conversation that was happening.
Oh, and the conflict with Sharp at the combine. That was another question.
So what was the conflict? Does anybody know? Have they released that yet?
Did you see that, Ramon?
No, I didn't see that.
It said that Sharp, he went through all the workouts and he did everything he was supposed to do, but he left after a conflict at the combine. But we don't know what that means. If there was,
what about him breaking Michael Jordan's record?
What was that on
the vertical?
Vertical, yeah. Everybody talked about how talented he was. I mean,
man, he wasn't ready to play 5 months ago.
I hate to get back on the Sharp thing. I really do, but it's hard not to get back on it. But here's what I want to say about the Sharp thing, a little bit different angle than we've said before. People say, well, it was worth the risk. I keep hearing that all the time. It was worth the risk. It was not a big deal. It was worth it. I don't think we can truly gauge how if that affected Kentucky in a negative light, because we know, Adam, we talked to players that thought he was playing the next game.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't play. Tell me that doesn't affect the team.
I said this last week, and I know that he wouldn't mind me saying this now, but we were told he was going to play.
Oh, Shaden Sharp?
Yeah.
We were told he was going to play
by a
player.
A player called us and said he is playing tomorrow. He practiced today. He's playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
And he didn't play.
And that's the thing. Like, and we were responsible enough not to say anything, because you're supposed to not. Right. You're supposed to not say anything.
Right. Certain things you keep in house.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things. Like, you remember when you were playing, I'm sure there would be people that you would talk to and tell things to, and be like, "Look, that's between us." Well, this was something that's between us. Mm-hmm. So I didn't say anything, but I knew that was going to be happening, and I was so excited for that particular game.
Right.
And it didn't happen.
Well, and Clyde says, "Well, they lied." The player didn't lie. The player really thought that.
And let me just tell you, I followed up. after he didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
And this particular person was like, I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know what happened.
I'm gonna tell you. Not just his case, but when you have dynamic players like him and so many guys that comes through Kentucky, as much as we want to say that everybody's the same and it's the same hallway,
right?
It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. I mean, look at Amadou Diallo.
I mean, okay.
His situation was kind of like Shaden's. He could have tested the waters, but he just decided to come back to school. But he came to school halfway through the year. Cal said he's not playing. He made that clear. He's not playing as much as people wanted to see him play. Because you see the highlights and you see the jumping ability and you see the potential. You want to see that in Kentucky uniform. I don't blame anybody. I wanted to see it. Then you see after that, he might test the waters and just not play for Kentucky at all. I just think the difference is that that's at that time, it was like an idea, but not really a picture. With Shaden Sharp, it's a real life picture. Like this is a real life thing. It's not quote unquote frowned upon in the basketball world now. I think that's just the difference between the two.
So I just got to ask you from your own personal experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all, I mean, like you've come on this show, you've told us that your junior year you had a big decision to make.
Yeah, after my junior year.
Yeah,
it was really after my sophomore year, but to me, my junior year. But if I'd have known better, it was really after my sophomore year.
Right. Did you have people telling you to do certain things? Did you have people because I wonder oftentimes with the Shaden situation, people say, well, people in his camp were giving him this advice and did you have that sort of thing? Did you have that camp? Did you have people, or was it strictly Ramon Harris made that decision?
My camp was me and my parents.
Okay.
That was my camp. I was a 3-4 star player coming in, kind of came under the radar last minute. So I didn't come in with all the hoopla. And it was my sophomore year where everybody was like, yo, who's this 6'7", 6'8" kid guarding everybody and athletic and this and that? Who is this? So I seen after my sophomore year, my dad showed me. It was after the NBA draft, my sophomore year, so it would have been 2007 draft. The 8 draft, the 2008 draft. And my name was on the list for the 2009 draft.
Right.
They had me 33rd, I think, to Minnesota. Like just a pre-mock draft, early draft. They had my name on there. So that's where I got the idea from after my junior year, like, what am I going to do? Because I seen my name on the board the year before. But I had so many injuries my junior year, I didn't feel, like, then my numbers were down, like my play, I just didn't feel comfortable. Then we had a coaching change, and then you could see the atmosphere changing. I wanted to be a part of that, and then we went to the NIT the year before. So for me, I felt like it didn't make sense.
Right.
For me personally.
Well, and so, part of me is like, maybe he's just being steered in the direction that a lot of other people think is good for him, and he's taken that choice. He's taken that hit. He's taken that chance.
Yeah.
But I mean, clearly it didn't matter, because here's the thing. They see a hype video where Shaden Sharp is dunking on a guy that looks like somebody's dad. And he's going to go 4th in the draft. I mean, listen, if that's all that it takes, I can't blame the
dynamic
kid.
is different. The dynamic is different.
I can't blame the kid.
Different now.
And honestly, man, here's what blows me away. and I've said this, and just, we're getting real right now.
Yeah.
But I've said this with you especially. We've talked about this, Ramon, off the air. I mean, there's guys playing right now in the NBA, and you go, what? And then I see somebody with a skill set such as yours, and I'm like, well, that guy needs to be in the NBA.
I think it's really weird.
You know what I mean?
You struck gold with that one. You struck gold with me.
I mean, so I don't understand now what it is. I don't know if it's a certain charisma that they're looking for, not so much skill, but I don't know if they're looking for the hot name. I don't know. And here's the thing. I fully grant you, I think the NBA does take that into consideration, and nobody can tell me otherwise, because, I mean, no offense, but LaMelo Ball, I mean, that's a name. That's a name that people know, and you wonder, do these teams go for those guys just because of their name? Shaedon Sharpe has been talked about. Is it a name now? Has it become less about your skill and more about your name?
There is a little bit of that, I'm sure, but I mean, when you go
and
to
now,
the combine,
and that ties it back into name, image, and likeness, baby.
Well, when you go
see how that works?
When you go to the combine, though, and you out jump everybody, and you're one of the fastest dudes there, you know what I mean? And you're passing all the physical tests, and you look like you're a better athlete than anybody there. They're going to look at that more than what numbers you put up in college. They just do in the NBA.
And the thing is, though, is unguarded. I would venture to say there's a lot of guys that can do that.
Well, I'm just saying he's outperformed most of them. I mean, that's the context. You know what I mean?
So you guys are hitting on something, and
then we got to take a break here in a second. So
so
I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and break right now. Then we'll come back, and then we'll gather your.
This is going to get good.
Your thoughts on. I can tell y'all. I mean, listen, Ramon knows. And I've talked about this with him off
I can't wait to
off
hear
the air
this.
A couple of times, and I've been waiting to bring this up because I'm like, man, I feel like this will be a good conversation, but I guess we're getting ready to go there. So 859-428-8419 if you've got your thoughts as well. We'll be back in just a few seconds. You're listening to Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily.
On your mark, ready, set, let's go. Dance floor pro, I know, you know, I go psycho when
If you've been injured in an accident through no fault of your own, you have options. Don't let insurance companies tell you what your case is worth. Call me, Jeremy Bryant, at 606-261-7381. At Bryant Law, we want you to get the highest possible recovery for your injuries. We can help you with your car wreck, slip and fall, or workers' compensation case. No one should have to withstand the pain, suffering, and inconvenience of a debilitating injury without just compensation. Bryant Law, experience you can trust.
I'm
rolling it up.
Stop. Oh. Now have fun. You did it now, didn't you?
Come see Kentucky Creative Bistro and Gallery at South Park Center in Corbin. We are an art gallery and bistro serving a variety of sandwiches, cakes, and coffees. We cater to offices, large groups, and deliver to the local area. If you dine in, you'll experience the vast talent that Kentucky has to offer. Our selections for sale include paintings, photography, and crafts. If you are a Kentucky artist wanting to get your work out to the world, contact us today. We are also now seeking writers for our new endeavor, Kentucky Creative Press.
Wondering how you can show your love? Head over now to Facebook and drop a like.
Welcome back to Wildcat Sports Talk.
Welcome back into Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily here in our final segment. Talking some good stuff over here with Ramon as well. And, you know, I'll let you continue your thought. We were just talking about how the NBA has changed the way they take guys. So tell us a little bit about that.
Can you hear me now? Sorry.
I can't.
I
thought it was on my end. I was like, man, am I messing up again?
What I was gonna say is that first I want to put this out here. I love people getting opportunities to reach their dream and their goals. So this is what I'm about to say is no type of shade or anything towards anybody. But if you ask people, there are some people, I've seen it, being so close to being called up. I was supposed to be called up by the Atlanta Hawks twice, and I was supposed to be called up by the Memphis Grizzlies. So seeing it, sometimes it's just relationships. It's just relationships.
Right.
And I'm not to say that those guys don't deserve it or they didn't earn it. I'm not saying that. But sometimes you ask, well, why is this person here? But I know somebody that sometimes it's just who you know and who knows you. And that's in any type of way. It's not just sports. Yeah. There are people that get job opportunities out of college because their dad knew somebody or whatever the case, or their mom knew somebody. So it's not just sports. It's just the world that we live in.
It's funny. My grandfather once told me, he's like, get to know everybody you can in life because you never know when you're going to need that person.
I've heard the saying like that. You're only as smart as the people that you don't know that you talk to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So, so going in that dynamic, now, like I said, don't get me wrong. Once you get in, you got to earn your keep. But some people have an opportunity that's easier than others just based off relationships, and they have the talent, but they just know where to be and how to be in the right place at the right time.
That's what I was going to say, right place at the right time.
Yeah, for example, myself, I played, basketball in Alaska. We would travel and play against other people, but we could only travel once during the summer. I started playing AAU with the California team and with a team out of DC. I'm going to multiple tournaments throughout the summer. And then next thing you know, I get seen by Kentucky. Long story short, I'm at Kentucky. Just being at multiple tournaments and they could see me multiple times and they could really evaluate me, whether they like me or not, whether they felt I was good enough, with everything that comes with that. So it's the same thing with the NBA. And I feel like the way that Coach Cal has allowed players to come and go with no problem. Come here, do the best that you can, be the best player that you can be, and you don't have to hesitate to go reach your dreams, has created the avenue for players like Shaedon Sharpe, who I feel like I'm gonna get there regardless. It's just how do I want to get there?
Right.
And then when you get to Kentucky and you're working out and you're playing and you're doing everything else, the more that these scouts and people see you, the more they try to pick you apart. They try to pick you apart. They try to see, okay, well, he can only go left so many times before he comes back right. Like they break you down like that. Oh, when he goes left, every time he goes left, he's going to shoot a fadeaway because he doesn't like to finish with his left hand. Or when he goes right, be prepared for him to go attack the basket all the way. They break you down like that. So when you're a guy like Shaedon Sharpe, I could be a top 5 pick and I don't have to play.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, for him, I'm not mad at him because at the end of the day, it's a business. It's a business at the end of the day, especially with NIL coming into play and all that. It's a business. If you could get a job working for a Fortune 500 company and you don't have to go to the interview, or you don't have to go through training.
Well, the thing is, Ramon, I think what you're saying, man, what I'm hearing from this, they're seeing all the positives that he brings to the table, but they've not been able to see any of his negatives.
Well, I mean, shoot,
you know what I'm saying?
if you gonna pay me to evaluate me, I'm gonna make you pay me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make you pay me. If I don't have to play, y'all already think I'm a top 4 pick. I don't. The only reason that I would see him coming back to school is because he really wants to win at the college level. Because whether you're the first pick or the 4th pick, after your rookie contract, it really don't matter. Because after your rookie contract, you get paid them based on what they believe you can do and what you've shown. And if I'm coming out of my rookie deal at 21, 22 years old, I'm still young. And that's how these NBA teams are evaluated. If we can get a guy that could potentially be the best pick in this draft, and out of his rookie deal, we can get him at 22 years old, and then we can sign him again at 26, and we can sign him again at 30. Our investment is longer.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, man, that took us all the way to the end.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw out a little teaser. I mean, for anybody that's going to be around the Corbin area coming up pretty soon, there's going to be some opportunities.
There is.
It's already out there. I mean, it's already out there on social media. So
August the 6th,
Ramon Harris is coming to town.
Yeah, August the 6th. We're gonna have a big event centered around that.
Yes,
and there will be a lot more information
Still
coming
in the
coming
works,
days.
yep. But just
yeah.
mark your
Save the
calendar.
date.
August
Save the date.
Yeah, August the 6th, right?
That's right.
August the 6th, you'll have a very good opportunity to hang out with us and Ramon.
See, and here's the other thing too. We make goofy videos. You remember all that?
Mm-hmm.
We can get Ramon on that now.
We definitely have to get
and
Ramon
he can
on
dunk
that.
on my head.
That would be fun to watch.
Think he can do that?
Do I think he can do that? Really?
Man, I can't wait.
I'm gonna come at you, Ramon. I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh,
I can't wait.
This would be epic. This would be the best video.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
You know the beauty of it, Ramon. Let me tell you the beauty of this. He will trash talk you. He will. I know he will. That's the way he is.
Men lie, women lie. Cameras do not lie.
There we go.
Oh, nice.
Well,
so we'll see what the camera shows, man. I might take it easy, man. It'd be the first time playing, man. I don't want to break no hearts.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
I can't wait.
But it'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to that. And so listen, August 6th will be here before you know it, folks. Another note for the folks out there listening: stay safe out there. We've had some bad storms over the last few days, and I tell you what,
They beat your big truck up pretty good.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
He got his big Dodge dented up, Ramon.
Yeah,
by the hailstorms.
We had a bad one come through, man. It was really bad. It was rough. And the thing is, so, and I actually put this out on Twitter. Chris Bailey over at WKYT, man, let me just say, he's the best weather dude around. There's nobody better. And truthfully, and that's not just because he follows Wildcat Sports Talk and talk to him and I know him. It's not that.
It helps.
Right.
But it's because, so my kids, you know, in a tornado warning, right? You worry, right? And naturally, kids are freaked out. So they're all huddled up in the middle of our house, right? You know, the interior room, all that stuff. But man, Chris Bailey's right there, and he talks you through it. And what he'll do, he'll say stuff. He'll be like, now listen, I know you kids are getting a little scared right now, but, you know, just listen to your mom and dad. We're going to get right on through this.
Right.
I love that. You know what I mean? Like, the weathermen don't
teamwork make the dream work.
That's just great. And so I put that out on Twitter and just thanked him for it. And I thought it was and
That's
of course
good stuff.
He replied immediately. And so, you know, he's a cool dude. He really is. So I just had to shout him out here while we're on the air. So
good stuff.
But yeah, guys, Ramon, good talking to you once again this week.
Yes, man. Yes. It's good, man. I feel back at home.
I keep saying that I'm going to call you, but I'm going to call you this week because we just need to chat for a little while, man. We usually We used to have our sometimes 2-hour talks on the phone, man.
Man, it's been crazy, man. Life has been crazy, but you guys are still my guys, man. Y'all still my guys.
You've always been our guy. I promise
you.
That is right, man.
Yeah, you guys still my guys, man. You know how we're gonna operate. It's gonna be even better in person, just like last time.
And I'll tell you this too, as far as guests are concerned, Ramon, and I can say this on the air. Let's reach out to some guys we've had on and recycle them back through, man. It's been a little bit.
Back? Okay.
It's been a little
we can catch up.
I'd like to
catch up with some guys.
There's a lot more stories we haven't heard.
I'd like to catch up with if I just had to name like 4, right? So let me give you my 4. I'd like to catch up with Joe. I'd like to catch up with Jody Meeks. I'd like to catch up with Patrick Patterson.
Willie Cauley-Stein.
Okay.
Well, we can get caught. We can call Willie, but I'm just saying like the 3 that the ones that I know, and then like I'll just say this too. I would let's get Ramel back on.
Okay.
Let's get Ramel.
Okay.
I don't know if have we actually had him on?
Mm-hmm. He's been on a couple times.
Did he come on a couple times, or did he?
Yeah.
Because I know we had him up there for the event, right? I know we did that.
Right. No, he came on because that's when his business ventures was just taking off.
I remember that now. Yeah.
And we had a conversation about going to Mr. Kitely's grave and all that.
Then he came on to wish you a happy birthday.
Right. Then Speaking of that, that's next week.
I know it is. Yeah.
A week from today.
Man.
Yeah.
Dang, man, time is going by fast.
Yep.
2 years ago, this time, I was just starting with you guys, man.
2 years ago, you were, and the thing is, and the crazy part is, not only that, it's been 2 long years, which is amazing, because that feels like yesterday.
Oh man, 2 long years.
And I'll tell you this
with
too,
a lot of fun too.
That 2020,
for sure.
That 2020 summer was unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life or ever will. We all grew. I think everybody in the world collectively grew from that year.
We were talking about this, Adam. It's crazy that we sort of documented the whole COVID
and
thing
we did, and that's
sports.
The next thing too, Ramon. I hate to tell everybody this because I don't want to be like, I hate to do this to y'all, but I got to, because my guy Ramon's got to be in town for this. So we're going to push back the release of the documentary to right around August, so he can be here for the premiere, and we can do it at the movie theater with Ramon, myself, Tim. We can all be here.
Okay. See, man, that's love, man. I felt that.
Yeah.
I felt that.
So, and it has to. I mean, we can't do it without Ramon.
No way.
Ramon has to be. He's part of this. So that's why I'm doing it. But you guys will be much happier for it. But I tell you what, I will do. We had the first trailer that we released. I'll make another one with some new little parts, little snippets, and drop it in about midsummer.
Me personally, I don't see no more. I've seen the first part, the first trailer.
You have.
I don't want.
You're the only one.
For everybody else, that's fine. But for me personally, I don't want to see. I want to wait till I can see the whole thing.
I feel that.
It's so good, man. It really is. And we've, I've worked with a couple of different people to make this happen. So it's looking pretty likely it's going to be on Netflix, which is insane.
Wait, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I know we're trying to end the show, but that's how you end the show?
Yeah, that's how I'm ending the show. Ask Tim. I never leave with anything good.
Ramon's speechless now.
Bro, you like one of those players that save their energy for the fourth quarter.
Yes. I'm basically LeBron James.
Wow.
Shots
taken.
No.
Shots taken. Shots taken.
I mean, Michael Jordan never played fourth quarter, so
he didn't have to.
He didn't have to. They were up 20.
It only took him 3 quarters to get the job done.
Oh man, Yes,
Yeah.
but I am excited. I'm excited, man. Last time we got together, man, I felt like we did something that was life changing. So,
yes.
Awesome.
So God willing, this time it'll be the same.
All right, we got to get out the door. We're already way over. So anyway, Ramon, good talking to you. Take care. We are going to head out as well. Listen, guys, if you are anywhere out there that you want to hear your favorite radio show, which is Wildcat Sports Talk, you can listen to that on iHeartRadio. You can listen to that on Spotify, Apple iTunes. You can listen to it on 106.3, the big one, on Saturday mornings. You can also listen to it on 98.5, the Light of London, as well on Saturday mornings, and anytime you want to, again, on those apps. And, of course, you can listen live on Thursday nights at 7 p.m. on Facebook, Twitter, or anywhere you get your social media stuff. Tim, great show, man.
Great show, man. It's another good one in the books.
And that's just the way we do it. I mean, it's just that's what we do. Yep. We bring you great content. The Jimbo Fisher thing, man, that's going to be some news for the next couple of weeks.
I'm here for it.
And I'm here for it too. And I cannot wait for that game. You know oh man,
it's a good game anyway. But with that,
man. it'll be great. I just wish I wish Nick Saban would start taking shots at Kentucky, or somebody else.
Yeah.
I wish I don't know, Josh Heupel would take shots at Mark Stoops. That would be awesome. So that the Tennessee games, that.
I love some trash talk. So
I do too.
For the game.
I do too. If you love trash talk, head over to our TikTok at Wildcat Sports TK. If you like trash talk. My name's Adam.
My name's Tim.
And you are listening to Wildcat Sports Talk, presented by the Kentucky Daily. We'll see you next week.
So rough around the edges, it's hard to believe that girls like you love guys like me.